Hi, everyone, from the Carpenter Sports Complex here in Clearwater, Florida. This is Jim Miller saying welcome to the spring training edition of the Red Barons Dugout Show. The Red Barons began year number 6 of AAA baseball in northeastern and central Pennsylvania and continued to draw fans at a record-breaking pace in 1994. Should be no different. The Red Barons working under a brand new manager this year in 37-year-old Mike Quaddy. The cast of baseball characters will change constantly throughout the year as they prepare once again to help the National League champion Philadelphia Phillies. Join us for the spring training edition of the Red Barons Dugout Show as we welcome in AAA baseball and another exciting campaign. When you think of the history of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons, you have to think of Mr. Original standing to my left, Greg Legg. And Greg, you're the all-time hit producer for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons. You hold a multitude of records. As you look back on your career in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, it has to be a pleasing one for you.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing there, Jim, and it's a great time for me and a special time.
When you go back to the beginning and you started that franchise, to see it grow had to be a kick for you because you've been part of baseball for quite some time now.
Yeah, I saw when I first got there, the field wasn't even finished, and I was like, oh no. But as you know, the baseballs took off there, and I think it'll be there for a while.
You played a major role in that franchise's development with players coming and going. Does that please you to share your knowledge with the kids who come and who have gone on?
Oh yeah, it's nice especially when you see them in the World Series. You know, and that makes you feel good that, golly, I played with those guys. They were teammates of mine, and, you know, I make everybody in that area proud that those guys were in the World Series.
If there was a position out there to be filled, you generally filled it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to play anywhere. You know, pitch, catch, that's one thing I hadn't tried yet, but it was a lot of fun playing baseball.
Fourth manager in the 6-year history of the franchise now joins the organization of Mike Quaddy. Your impressions here in spring training?
Outstanding. Very easy to play for. All he wants you to do is you know, be fundamentally sound, make the plays, hit the cutoff man, move the runners, and if you do that, you know, it's easy playing for him. And so far, we played pretty good.
And for this segment, Sid Michaels travels to Reading, Pennsylvania to reacquaint us all with the first manager in the history of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons, now the manager of the Reading Phillies, Bill Dancy.
Yeah, you know, if you could talk to me about your years in Scranton. I mean, did you enjoy the time you spent at Lackawanna County Stadium?
Definitely. I think if you've got to manage at the AAA level and the first-class people, I'm speaking at Bill Terlecki and his people, everything's run so first-class that you get a major league atmosphere. And you know, I miss Scranton a lot. You know, I got a lot of friends with the press as well as a lot of fans there. And, you know, I wish everybody the best. And I mean, I have a lot of good memories in Scranton. You know, at times I wish we could have had better ball clubs. But, you know, as I said many times, it's how your big club goes is how your AAA club plays. And at those times, we had a lot of injuries in Philadelphia, and so the players that were doing best with us went on to Philadelphia.
Reading Municipal Stadium is where you'll find former Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons manager Bill Dancy these days. And even though it's only 100 miles from Lackawanna County Stadium, Dancy took the long road back to the place in which he played in the 70s and managed on 2 different occasions in the 80s. The very first manager of the Red Barons, Dancy was here from 1989 to 1991, going then to Class A ball as manager of the Phillies' Clearwater, Florida team. Bill says it was a difficult move in more ways than one.
Yeah, I think, you know, it was due to the fact that, you know, I had the players I knew very well and the coaching staff I knew very well, and I felt comfortable, maybe at times a little too comfortable, you know, working with Bill and everything. I thought our rapport together was very well. I tried to do as much, you know, speaking-wise and get players involved in the community. Going back to Clearwater, you know, you got to sort of, you know, tuck in your pride and go back and do the best job you can. And like I told Dale Unser, you know, wherever you send me, I'm going to do the best job I can. I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to get the best I can out of the players, and hopefully we can get some players to the big leagues.
At the end of last season, when it was evident that George Culver would not be returning to manage the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons, many rumors had Bill Dancy returning for his second stint at Lackawanna County Stadium. But he says there really never were any discussions about him returning to manage at the AAA level at this point in time.
Hi, everyone, from the Lackawanna County Stadium. This is Jim Miller saying welcome to the 10th and final edition of the Red Barons Dugout Show and AAA Baseball. The Red Barons came off a most extensive road trip to begin a series with the Rochester Red Wings before they head out of town to play in Pawtucket and later on at Syracuse, New York. Welcome back to the Lackawanna County Stadium, everyone. This is Jim Miller, and this is the Red Barons Dugout Show. And joining me with the General Manager's Report is Red Barons General Manager Bill Terlecki. As we talk today, it's day number 1 of the Major League Baseball players' strike. Your thoughts?
Well, it's just unfortunate. I mean, I've been saying all along that we're part of that big picture. We're part of organized baseball, and whatever is bad for baseball is eventually going to trickle down here and hurt us. I mean, I'm worried that the owners are going to take a hit somehow financially, and that's going to end up getting into our pockets here at our operations at Lackawanna County Stadium. But, you know, for the short time, for the shortfall until September 1 or until the strike is over, we're the only show in town, and here we go.
One of the highlights of this week's Red Barons Dugout Show is the appearance of the Coors Silver Bullets at the Lackawanna County Stadium, the touring all-female baseball team. Joining me now is the manager of that organization, former Atlanta Brave, great Phil Necro. And your thoughts about what's happened so far with you and your players out there?
Jim, we've come a long way in a short while. When we went to spring training, I said, I just don't know. I knew they could catch the ball, which they have done very well. Fundamentally, we were pretty sound. We could pitch, and we can catch, we can play defense, turn double plays. The biggest problem we have is scoring runs. We're just not strong enough, built up enough to drive the ball, hit the ball hard. Sometimes we have trouble getting the bat through the strike zone, but on the field defensively, we're very sound, and we've got a long way to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a view. A beautiful sunny day. We're high atop the Lackawanna County Stadium, surrounded by 10,000 seats and a perfectly manicured baseball field. You know, it doesn't get much better than this, with one exception, the Red Baron Dugout Show. I'm Jim Miller saying welcome, and now it's time to meet our players.
Hi, I'm Sid Michaels in Rochester with highlights of the Red Barons season opener.
Hi, I'm Mike Quaddy, and I want you to ask the manager.
Hi, I'm Kim Baptiste, and I'm this week's player profile.
Behind every organization is somebody who keeps that organization on the road. I'm Kevin Lynn. Join me for the Johnny Marsico story and On Deck.
And with all the highlights we could pack in, we're the Red Barons Dugout Show, and we'll be right back in a big time way. Hit it! Welcome back to the Red Barons Dugout Show, everyone. I'm Jim Miller. I come to you from the home of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons, the beautiful Lackawanna County Stadium. You know, when you think of spring training, you think of your trip to Florida. Well, not your trip to Florida, my trip to Florida. I had a chance to venture south a couple of weeks ago to check out the Red Barons in spring training at the Carpenter Sports Complex in Clearwater. And the big question was, how in the world does manager Mike Quaddy put together a baseball team in this day and age of replacement baseball players? So manager Mike Quaddy finalized his roster. The club broke camp in Clearwater, Florida, and they came north. More than 20 players made the trip to Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and the first thing they found out is that they're playing in a magnificent facility. I can tell you from firsthand experience, you don't care how you made the roster, all you care about was making the roster. You go from 85 degrees to 55 degrees, maybe 45 degrees, but you have to get the stings out of your hands and hold your first workout and get ready for AAA baseball. It's time now for the bullpen report on the Red Barons Dugout Show, and you know what that means. It's time to look down the right field line, pick up the phone, and tell Sid Michaels to get yourself up.
As always, Jim, ready to go. You know, these Red Barons sure know how to throw a party, and that's exactly what they did on Tuesday night of this week when their welcome home dinner was held at Convention Hall in Pittston Township. It was a big celebration of baseball's return to northeastern Pennsylvania. Because of the strike, it's no secret that a lot of fans have soured on the sport of baseball. And even though many of these Red Barons had nothing to do with that work stoppage, they feel that they have to help mend fences.
All of us throughout baseball have some rebuilding to do. I mean, there's no question about it. Players, owners, minor league guys, major league guys.
Welcome back to the Red Barons Dugout Show, everyone. I'm Jim Miller, and Do we know how to throw a party for the Red Barons? Talk about it. 1,400, 1,500 people every year for 7 straight years. We have the party of parties. Time now to welcome to our Red Barons Dugout Show an old friend named Kevin Lynn. Each week he'll have his on-deck portion with us concerning the Red Barons. And today Kevin goes behind the scenes with the Red Barons to find out how this team is packed and they move from city to city.
The Red Barons clubhouse. The players are ready for their 7th season. But there is one guy who stands out in this room. One guy all the other guys need. No, not a big guy with a bat. It's that little guy in the hat. It's Johnny Marsico, home clubhouse manager for the Red Barons. He's been here since the beginning.
I used to help him at Bishop Hannon like that, you know, at the schools. So Mr. Burke was the coach there, and I used to help him out with the baseball. Then he asked me if I want to help him down here. I said, sure, why not? As long as, you know, we're good guys, you know, I've been doing it a long time with them. So I said, sure, why not?
Why not? It's an endless job during the season, that's why not. Cleaning, washing, folding, packing, tending to these guys so they're ready for battle at home or on the road.
So I put in their jackets, their away uniforms, their hats, their belts, and now all different other stuff. Like
Trust them with their gloves?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They put their own gloves. They take everything.
This extra help means something to a guy like Kim Batiste. Batiste has been up and down between Scranton and the Phillies for the last couple of seasons, and he's had his moments in both parks. Johnny lets him concentrate on the business at hand, the business of baseball.
If I'm putting my spikes on, this guy here is like maybe getting my belt together, getting my pants together, putting my belt in my pants. I mean, yo, he's an A+. He does it all.
Johnny does it all with help from P.J. Blockberger. Together they keep the clubhouse a place where players can relax and snack in peace. It's been a nice deal for the Red Barons since Johnny retired from working for the city. And just like the players, Johnny has a dream too.
Someday I hope I go with the bigger ones.
Yeah? Go down to Philadelphia, get called up to the big club?
That'd be nice too. Someday I hope.
We all need a dream, Johnny, at any age. But until that call comes, the Barons are glad to have you. And so are we. I'm Kevin Lynn, on deck, reporting for the Red Barons Dugout Show.
Snow is great for a skier like me, and I stand on top of some of this beautiful white stuff here at Montage. But snow became a factor in the Red Barons opener as better than 4 inches fell on Silver Stadium in Rochester, New York, postponing the opener between the Red Barons and the Red Wings. But the weather broke on Friday and they teed it up to start 95. On hand for the game, our Sid Michaels. Whoa!
It was sunny but cold in Rochester today as the Red Barons finally kicked off the 1995 season. 24 hours late because of a weather delay on Thursday. They were hoping to pick up their first opening day win here since 1992. So the Red Barons open 1995 year, which will be the last in the 64-year-old ballpark, with a 7-3 defeat. They'll try to even their record tomorrow afternoon behind pitcher Pat Combs, and then play another here on Sunday before coming back home to Lackawanna County Stadium on Monday night.
Well, my good friends, that's it from the Lackawanna County Stadium, our first Red Barons Dugout Show of 1995. Every week we come your way Saturday afternoons at 12:30. Paul, get a shot of that guy. That's Tommy Honley. He's the producer of the Red Barons Dugout Show. We did a good job, didn't we?
Not bad, Mills.
Hey, don't forget us. We're the Red Barons Dugout Show. We'll see you next week. And Paul, my man, take us out in style. Wow. Welcome back to the Red Barons Dugout Show, everyone. I join you from the concourse level here at the beautiful Lackawanna County Stadium. As you know, the Red Barons lost their opening 2 games on the road last weekend to the Red Wings in Rochester, New York. 7-3 in game 1, 2-1 in game number 2, despite fine outings from a pair of left-handers in Blaze Ilsley and Pat Combs. Nevertheless, it did not dampen the spirit of Red Barons manager Mike Quaddy as he got this team ready for the opening night showdown with the Norfolk Tides at the stadium. Then it was time to unveil the 1995 edition of the Red Barons baseball team to the fine fans of Northeastern and Central Pennsylvania. Nearly 7,000 turned out on a rather chilly Monday night for baseball as the Red Barons took on the top farm team for the New York Mets, the Norfolk Tides. Manager Mike Quaddy would send a newcomer to the mound, and right-hander Dennis Springer. On hand for the festivities was our Sid Michaels.
And finally, what would opening night at the ballpark be without baseball's traditional theme song? Hit it, boys! I'm Sid Michaels, 28, Eyewitness Sports.
Hey, how about this seat? The best seat in the house, right behind home plate. Better seat than Tom Honnold, even though he's the producer of the program. Lang certainly has its privilege. I'm 52, and he's a pup. The only problem I have is I don't know who's down on the field. Well, the Red Barons have certainly taken care of that. We feature a guy in tonight's Bullpen Report with Sid Michaels, who's been here from the very beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the public address announcer of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons, Mr. John Davies.
You may not recognize this face, but if you're a Red Barons fan, you will know the voice.
Left fielder number 28, Derek Lee.
From day one, John Davies has been the voice of Lackawanna County Stadium. He's been revving up the fans at the ballpark ever since his distinct, enthusiastic style earned him the job after an audition 6 years ago.
Bill Terlecki put his neck out at the time and went back and said, well, we'll give him a shot and see how he does. And I guess they decided to hold on to me, and I'm thankful for that because I really enjoy myself and I enjoy making sure everybody else has a good time.
Leading off for the Red Barons, center fielder number 32, Sean Gilbert.
Even though his voice has been booming over the Lackawanna County Stadium loudspeakers for 6 years, John actually has years of experience as an announcer. Well, sort of.
I've always, since I was a kid, have imitated sportscasters and so on, and I've been imitating Marv Albert from NBC for many, many years, and I think just from doing that, knowing that I was smart enough to realize I didn't have the athletic ability that I wished I had, so I decided to channel my efforts in another field, and this is what occurred.
The main job of all good ballpark PA men is to keep the fans informed and warmed up to the game.
In a situation where in a rally, I try to put a little bit more of an oomph or an emphasis on a ball player's name or position or something of that nature to fire the people up. But once again, it's a team effort, just as it is, because my friend Brian Bosley, he takes care of the music in the booth. Jake Paparelli is behind the message center and the scoreboard, and we work as one cohesive unit, like under Bill Terlecki, like the players out here work under Mike Quaddy. So it's basically the same.
John Davies says he has the best job in the world, but it's also the easiest. Anybody could do this.
Shortstop number 3, Ray Ordonez. For the Red Baron Dugout Show, I'm Sid Michaels.
Hi, I'm Kevin Lynn, on deck for the Red Barons Dugout Show. Question, which would you say would be harder? One of these big league baseballs like the Red Barons use in their games, or a little league ball, kind that they might use in a game like this between Scranton Prep and Scranton High? You might be surprised to learn the little league balls are harder and therefore more dangerous than these big league balls.
Well, my good friends of baseball, that's week number 2 of the Red Barons Dugout Show and AAA Baseball. I'm in the car with producer Tom Honnold. We're heading to Toledo and Columbus, Ohio, as the Red Barons start their second road trip of 1995. Again, thanks for joining us, and John Davies, the PA announcer here at the Lackawanna County Stadium, will take us out in style. See you, baby. It's on to Ohio.
My face may not be familiar, but if you're a Red Barons fan, my voice should be. Sid Michaels is my story.
My face and okay. My face may be not familiar, but my voice...
No, may not be familiar. My face may not be familiar.
This is why I don't ad lib. I'm rotten. My voice...
No, that's my face, John.
My face, right, okay.
He's a basket case.
Here's how rotten he really is. My face may be not familiar. My face may not...
Now batting for the Barons Red, Beezer Steve.
Here's another hour. Okay, alrighty. All right, that's beautiful, okay. My face may not be familiar, but my voice should be. Sid Michaels has my story.
That was good. One more time.
Oh, no.
Here's another hour.
Good afternoon, my good friends, and Paul Baby, Mr. Paul DeFabo, will show you a wonderful sight. AAA Baseball, we're inside the Lackawanna County Stadium, the R Braves and the SWB Red Barons. Paul, this way, Paul. Paul, over here, Paul, over here. Hi, everyone, Jim Miller with 3 of my Goombas at the ball game. Red Barons in Syracuse last week, back home for a 4-game series. Cut down time for the Philadelphia Phillies. 3 guys come down. Manager Mike Quaddy has to let 2 go. It's been a hectic week of AAA baseball. Guys, we kind of set the table for all of these people. Now let's meet today's starting rotation. Say this. Hit it, Paul. Hit it, Paul. Hit it, Paul.
Hi, I'm AC Manahan, and I'm this week's player profile.
Hi, I'm Mike Quaddy, and I want you to ask the manager.
So the Red Barons are in last place. Does anyone care? Well, probably not the fans, because they're here for the show. Does anyone care that the Red Barons are in last place when these guys are a step away from Major League Baseball? You bet they care.
We got highlights, man. We've got features. We've got everything.
Those are my lines. We're the Red Barons Dugout Show, and guys, we'll be right back.
Hit it, Paul!
Hey, that's my line. Hit it, Paul! Welcome back to the Lackawanna County Stadium, the Red Barons Dugout Show. Jim Miller inside the popcorn stand here at the... Oh, man, Paul, get a shot of this. Oh, jeez. This is all my popcorn.
Jim, just worry about baseball.
That's all, just baseball. Baseball, Red Barons, AAA, Syracuse, New York. Friday, winner. Saturday, down. Sunday, down. Mike Quaddy says, lost weekend. For the most part, baseball is always fun at the ballpark, but on Monday afternoon we came to the Lackawanna County Stadium. We knew things would be a little bit heavy because...
Excuse me, are you Jim Miller?
Yes, I am, son.
Could we have your autograph?
Sure. Can I have a lick of your ice cream? No, I don't want to lick your ice cream. As we mentioned, baseball is always fun at the ballpark. Like, this is one of the special moments in baseball when kids ask you for your autograph. But it was cut-down day for the Phillies on Monday. 3 players had to come down. That meant a couple of Red Barons had to go. And, man, it was a tough time, one of the toughest times for Red Barons manager Mike Quaddy. Red Barons Dugout Show in the gift shop. Paul, get a shot. Oh, you are getting a shot of me. Look at this. We've got Tommy. Tommy, help me out. Boy, give me a pile of that. Oh, we're set. We got stuff over here. Ladies, how are you? Thank you very much. That's enough. Ladies, how much? This is what, 90 bucks?
Probably $4.65.
$4.60. Tommy, $4.65, please. Pay the... Come on, pay the lady, will you? Thank you very much. Sure. Thank you. Hey, for the real story on the gift shop here at the Lackawanna County Stadium, here's my man Sid Michaels in this week's edition of the Bullpen Report.
Believe it or not, this is one of the most sought-after minor league baseball insignias in the entire country. Ever since the team's birth, the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons have been among the top 10 in the sale of merchandise bearing the club's logo. Anything from jackets to caps. If it says Red Barons on it, it sells.
Even though we're a relatively new team, we have an older style looking logo, and also the newer franchises, and we, at least for the first 5 or 6 years, I mean, maybe now we're not new, but always seem to do much better. I can remember telling my friends in Ottawa, buy 25,000 caps the first year. Don't even hesitate. And they looked at me. I says, I'm telling you, you know, because then you go to reorder and you're out of them and you're waiting and fans are clamoring for them. So, you know, some of the items you can never go wrong with, and some you got to watch it.
There are higher-priced items at the Red Barons Stadium gift shop, but there are also those little wooden bats, night lights, and even a doll that looks like the Grump, the team's mascot.
Yeah, I mean, you want to have something for every age group and for every wallet size. I mean, I don't want to be mercenary here or something, but, you know, we want you to be able to buy something for $2 or $3 or you know, especially when the kids come up, for them to be able to get something, a little souvenir of coming to the ball game, you know. So we try to have a full range of stuff. You're buying from 6-year-olds to 66-year-olds.
This is the season the All-Star Game comes here to Lackawanna County Stadium. Now, for the past number of years, AAA Baseball has been using this logo for their Midsummer Classic. But in 1995 here, this is the one you'll be seeing most. Red Barons officials say there's nothing wrong with that old logo, but this is a special event, so they want their own special stamp on this ball game.
Each city didn't design their own logo, and that's what spurs the sale of souvenirs, especially to the collectors that go to games and buy out of the catalogs and that type of thing. They were telling me, Bill, you guys got to get your own logo because that's the same one everybody else uses.
So come on in, bring a couple of bucks, and pick out your favorite souvenir. Show your support for the home team. For the Red Barons Dugout Show, I'm Sid Michaels.
Everyone needs 15 minutes of fame. I'm still waiting for my fame. Tom will never get his 15 minutes. Paul got 10 left. But you know, 3 years ago, it was one moment. It was one pitch. And if you were stuck in the concession line, you missed it big time. Hit it, Francisco Cabrera. Tom Marsh, huh? 28, huh? Hitting 450 in the last 6 weeks. Nobody in this league can handle him. Mills can handle him. Warming up here on the slide to see what I have. Then I'm going to face Tommy. Ready, baby? Oh, man, what's it? Are you sure? Let me see. 20. Can't do it, Tommy. You know what, baby? I'm going to call Bill Giles and get you called up to the big club, baby. Tom, we're going to help you. Well-connected, big office here. I'm making the call for you to get you to the show. We're calling the man, Bill Giles in Philadelphia. Bill Giles, please. Bill, how you doing? Jimbo, Red Baron Dugout Show. Watching the papers lately? Tom Marsh, 420 over the last 5 weeks. Can you top Tom Marsh? Good kid, real aggressive. He's the man. Give him a shot. He'll help you out. Tommy, you know what? You're all set, man. Hey, wait, having fun at the ballpark. Yes, what do we have here? Cotton candy? Come on, baby. Cotton candy. How much is this?
$2.
$2? $2. You got $2?
I give it all to you in the gift shop.
You know, baseball is a team game, and that's kind of the story this week with one of the great team players on our roster, Kevin Lynn, as he features this week's edition of On Deck. Hit it, Kevin.
So, the Red Barons are in last place in AAA baseball right now. Hi folks, I'm Kevin Lynn, on deck for the Red Barons Dugout Show. Red Barons are in last place, and they're also, every one of these guys, just one step away from Major League Baseball, one step away from 120 miles away in Philadelphia, one step away from adding a whole zero to their paychecks. So I'm thinking, does it make any difference that they're in last place? I figured it wouldn't. I had this all worked out. The fans don't care about the Red Barons' record. They want a show. All right, Betty, does it make any difference to you that the Red Barons are in last place?
No, no way.
Why?
Because I'm a fan, win or lose.
Dave, up here from Freeland, first time at the ballpark. Does it make any difference to you that the Red Barons are in last place?
I just thought for having some fun. I'd like them to be in first place, but, you know, whatever.
Right, whatever. This is AAA baseball. These guys are a step away from the big leagues. They're worried about themselves. So, if you got a chance to go 4 for 4 or the team winning, you'd take the 4 for 4.
Absolutely not. I'd take the win 100% of the time. This is a team game. It's not tennis or golf where you're by yourself.
Excuse me? Wrong answer. So I asked pitcher Jim Deshays. He's been to Philadelphia. He wants to go back. He understands that 7 strong innings mean more than a Barons win, right?
Guys have to learn how to win. And I've seen that up and down. I've seen guys with great ability, pitchers with great ability, who have not yet learned to win, get promoted through the ranks, and they don't know how to win.
Oops. Did I miss something? Now, Gene Shaw's a couple of hitting streaks away from the show. He'll know.
At this level, it's important, one, to perform on the field in order to get to the next level, but it also takes that little bit more to learn how to win and actually go out there and do it if it gets down to the late innings and pulling that game out.
Okay, now tell me then, under those circumstances, what do we conclude about the fact that the Red Barons are in last place?
I think we have to go out there and make some breaks for ourselves.
I did miss something. Baseball is more than stats in AAA. It's showing the big boys at the show you really can make the plays when it counts. And either all these guys are lying, or they really do understand about the value of winning. They just aren't doing it yet. But when they start to win, I have this feeling Red Barons and the Phillies will be better teams for years to come. Kevin Lynn on deck for the Red Barons Dugout Show.
See you, fellas. Thanks for all your help. Another week of the Red Barons Dugout Show is history, and you know what I've been thinking? I'm putting the uniform on next week. Watch out. For Tom, for Paul, this is Jim. Thank you for watching. See you next week with the next edition of the Red Barons Dugout Show. We're gone. Oh, hit it, Paul. It's Spring Training Baseball 98, a new beginning. And the program starts from Clearwater, Florida in just a few minutes. This is Jim Miller saying welcome back to Jack Russell Stadium here in Clearwater, Florida. And 3 years before the Phillies won the World Championship back in 1980, a young man named Ed Wade from Carbondale, Pennsylvania, joined the organization as an intern in the Public Relations Department under Larry Shank. He went on to join the Houston Astros before coming back to Philadelphia. And during the offseason, a major change. Bill Giles stepped down as the Phillies president, and Ed Wade was named the Phillies vice president and general manager.
This is where I started in '77 and made the circuit to Houston and then Pittsburgh and back to Houston again. And I wanted to get on this side of the game. Realistically, I never thought the opportunity would present itself in Philadelphia because this is such an established organization. People didn't move around a whole lot. And when the chance came in 1989 to come back, we jumped at the opportunity. My wife is from Glassboro, New Jersey, and was an usherette at the ballpark. So it was a homecoming for us, and then for it to evolve into what's transpired here in the last month and a half or so is really exciting.
Finally, a lot of old folks, including yours truly from northeastern Pennsylvania, cut our teeth on baseball. What's it like to be working in the world of baseball?
Well, it's again, it's that dream come true. I grew up wanting to be the Yankee center fielder, and that didn't quite work out for a lot of different reasons. I look back at the time that I spent growing up in Carbondale, and I think a lot of the preparation for this job took place there because I grew up in a family that had a solid work ethic and preached common sense, and I think those are two pretty key ingredients. You can be the smartest guy in the world, but if you don't work at it or if you don't use it in a common sense way, then I'm not sure you always get the most out of your ability. And I like to pride myself on the fact that maybe due to my roots, I had a good foundation coming in that I've been able to build upon.
There was also a change for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons last April when longtime general manager Bill Terlecki resigned that position to move on to Madison, Wisconsin, and the job went to the only assistant Bill Terlecki has ever had, Rick Montaigne. How about knowing the organization for so long? Many people get a promotion like yours, they go to an unknown organization. You've been with the Phillies since the beginning here. How much does that help you?
Oh, it helps out a lot because we know, the way that they operate, the way they do business, just on the business side of things. It's going to be a big help to me. But the other thing is that we have seen them grow over the past few years. And I could literally, talk intelligently about a Marlon Anderson and a Carlton Lower and guys like that. And the continuity is good for the organization, I really believe. So I think it's a very positive thing.
Finally, do you ever pinch yourself? You're standing on the field here in northeastern Pennsylvania. You're running the organization as the general manager. As a kid, everyone dreams about an opportunity. You had the opportunity, you have it now. What's it feel like?
Jimmy, I can't explain it. I started cleaning the stands in San Jose for $14 a day back in 1981, 82. I always dreamt of being in a situation like this and tried to, come to work every day and really put, a good effort into it and show people that I do know what I'm doing and have the work ethic and all that stuff. And I think really that's a lesson to be learned, that if you do, if you have a dream and you really work hard at getting there, that it can happen. And I don't know, I'm on cloud nine. This is thrilling.
In the shadow of the palm trees here in Clearwater, Florida last year, Ed Wade, in conjunction with Bill Giles, made a major decision. They hired a young ex-ball player for his first job as a manager at the major league level. His name is Terry Francona. The Phillies struggled in the first half of 1997, but finished very strong. Francona likes the makeup of this year's club and the team's outlook going into 1998. What are the differences? All ball players for the most part think they can manage. You had a chance now to manage. What are the differences?
Well, you know what? I think the biggest difference is when you're a player, you worry about yourself. I mean, you manage yourself. You be somewhere on time. You do all your things. All of a sudden, you're a coach or manager, and you're worried about 25 guys, coaching staff, and so it's not just yourself. You want everybody to be on time, and everybody's worry is your worry.
How about last year, the way this club finished going into 1998? You have to be greatly pleased.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I was proud as you could be proud of people. Our guys, they never quit. And when our pitching got healthy enough for us to compete, our guys knew how to play, and they played hard. And we outplayed some people that gave us a pretty good thumping early on in the season. We started beating them a little bit, and for that, I was as proud as you can be.
The object, once again, for AAA baseball is develop players and hopefully have them wind up right here with a major league club, in this case, the Philadelphia Phillies. That job, once again, is turned over to Red Barons' second-year manager, Mark Bombard. A year ago, it was your first year with the organization. How much more prepared, at least knowing most of the people in the organization, are you now?
Well, it helps. Like last year, with Bill and, of course, Larry Anderson, who's in the booth now. They helped me out tremendously, especially in spring training, the Major League camp and here. And it was a pretty good feeling, but to come to your second spring training, and knowing everybody, it is a great benefit, and so we're looking forward to it. I know the whole staff, the players are. Come on! You're scoring easy.
Andy's in the booth, but you replace him with the guy from the Indians organization from northeastern Pennsylvania, and Gary Ruby.
Well, we calling him, he's a pro now. See, he hasn't been down here. I think his first day's tomorrow's. So he's a pro pitching coach. But look forward to, working with Gary. We're up there in the Major League camp for a while, and, he's very knowledgeable in the pitching area. He's got a good rapport with the pitchers, very low-keyed and understanding and open-minded. So he's going to do a great job.
There has never been a more dramatic rise to prominence from the AAA level to the Major League level than the one taken by the guy you're looking at, former Red Barons third baseman Scott Rowland. He joined the Red Barons a year and a half ago, then moved on to Philadelphia. Then last year, in a brilliant wire-to-wire performance, he was named the National League's Rookie of the Year. Congratulations on last year. First of all, besides the honors, what did the full season mean to you at the Major League level?
Well, it's an enormous boost. I think that was the main thing. I tried to come into this year saying a successful season would be to be better coming into the clubhouse this year, and I can say that hopefully last year was successful. I feel like I came into the clubhouse this year a better baseball player, a little wiser on and off the field, and hopefully that'll help during the course of the season this year.
Welcome back to spring training at Jack Russell Stadium here in Clearwater, Florida, everyone. I'm Jim Miller, and one of the more significant hires in the history of the Red Barons went down during the offseason when the Red Barons and the Philadelphia Phillies announced that Gary Ruby from northeastern Pennsylvania, out of the Cleveland Indians organization, had been named the Red Barons' brand new pitching coach. Gary Ruby was coming home. When the All-Star game was at our place a couple of years ago, you said, wow, this is great, but I'm sure you didn't envision that you would be part of the franchise just a short 2 years later.
Not in my wildest dreams. Actually, Christmas Day this year wasn't part of my wildest dreams, but the All-Star game did start it for me because I was on the West Coast for about 10 years and never had a chance to work at home, and it was a pretty good feeling coming back for the All-Star game. So when this opportunity came up, and with the people involved here at Philadelphia, it was just too much to pass up.
I guess this is an important spring for you because you're learning everyone from the get-go.
It's been, for me personally, it's a critical spring because I'm starting from scratch with a new organization, but I've been very fortunate that I work with a great Major League staff here and obviously a great GM that we all know, and I've had every day here at Major League camp, so I'm pretty well set in the system right now and ready to go back to work with our club.
And it's a young organization. The philosophy has now changed. You saw the Indians build from the ground floor up. How do you feel about being part of this young youth movement?
I'm thrilled to be here right now. I envision the Indians of 91, 92 when they had 105 losses, but the people running the ship are running a very tight ship. The commitment's very heavy, and the primary reason I came here is because I was completely sold on the idea that we're going to build a great franchise here.
5 years ago, the Philadelphia Phillies were blessed behind the plate. They had an all-star catcher in Darren Daulton. But then the knees gave out for Dutch Daulton. He went on to Florida and then left Major League Baseball after a wonderful career. Right now, the Phillies are blessed again. They have a starting catcher in Mike Lieberthal and a tremendous backup in Bobby Estalella. Brand new contract for you. It's probably hard to believe, you know, when you try and make it as a baseball player, to realize how far you've come. You and your family's got to be thrilled.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's security. I mean, I don't have to work for the rest of my life, and it's a great feeling. I'm definitely more relaxed starting the season this year than I was last year. It just, you know, it's a great feeling to know that I'm going to be with this club for at least 2 more years.
AAA all of last year. What did that mean for your baseball progress?
Well, definitely. I learned a lot in AAA. I need another year of seasoning, and working with Larry Anderson and Eric Wedge, I mean, I learned how to call a game and go about my business with pitchers and how to handle the whole staff.
Now, you talk about seasoning. Do you know, as you're making progress, that you do need some work?
I mean, I always need work, yeah. I mean, I'm never set or saying that I'm up to my fullest abilities, but I definitely need to work and improve on some things as far as hitting, and still working on my game and how to play.
Back for his second season with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Baron is former Major League hitter Bill Robinson, who spent 16 years earning his tools at the Major League level. He tutored the likes of Darryl Strawberry, Lenny Dykstra, and Keith Hernandez during the 80s with the New York Mets. Bill Robinson says he is here for one reason: to tutor kids of today so they can become possible stars tomorrow.
What we did last year, what we accomplished, I found out I didn't realize it. And again, I'm kind of gloating, but certainly it's the kids that did it. We led the league, led the International League in hitting last year. So that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice for the organization to see that we had some people that could swing the bat. I just happened to be there to add my experiences, and fortunately, or the kids were smart enough maybe to take advantage of some of the things that I had to say. But we had, although we weren't totally successful, I thought we were successful as far as developing the kids, and that's what it's all about.
Robinson's prime student over the last 2 years has been Red Baron first baseman left-hander John Zuber. He's been in the organization for the past 5 years, and each year he's done better than the year before. He still waits his chance and wonders if he will ever get an opportunity with the Philadelphia Phillies. Well, you're doing exactly what they signed you to do. They knew you weren't going to hit 25 to 30 home runs. You've done everything that the Phillies wanted you to do when they signed you, and you still stand here with me today.
Yeah, it seems like that. I don't know what else they want from me besides maybe a few more home runs, but I don't know. I just can go out there and play the style of baseball I play, and you know, I think I play hard every day, and I play a brand of baseball I hope the fans like, and I try to imagine myself in the stands and go, I'd like to watch this guy play, and hopefully that's what I can keep doing and keep putting up some numbers, and something will happen.
As you know, the Phillies opened their season against the Mets at Shea Stadium in New York earlier this week. Red Barons on the road against the Lynx in Ottawa, Canada. The club will open at home on Monday afternoon, 1:30 at the Lackawanna County Stadium. For photographer editor Rich Charneski, this is Jim Miller saying thanks so very much for watching. Enjoy the 1998 Major League Baseball and AAA baseball season, and goodbye from the winter training camp of the Phillies and the Red Barons here in Clearwater, Florida.
Let's see ya!
You're scoring easy.